Yeah. Okay. Whatever it was, but it was the holy name. So ultimately, that was the most important, and all the other things, all the clanging, the banging, the piano, all the opera, and whatever else. That's just decoration. Of course, a bit more. It is also, it amplifies the mellow, the taste. Just like Krishna may be unlimitedly beautiful, but then arrangements of jewels and flowers and other decorations bring Krishna out, bring him to the foreground, and bring out different moods, and sometimes jubilant, sometimes deep. When we are in Vrindavan and we see all the different deities, then especially there are the deities of the Goswamis. So we can see the Radha Damodar temple. We can see the Radha Shyamasundar temple. And at one point we may come to the Radha Gokulananda temple. And the Radha Gokulananda temple is interesting because there are the deities of Baladev Vijayabhusan named Vijay Govinda. And Vijay Govinda, they have these hypnotic eyes. They have big red rings around the eyes. The head is sort of tilted and piercing look. And then there's a brass Radharani, sort of golden colored, who looks completely dazed. So in the Radha Gokulananda temple, Krishna wins, that's clear. Whereas in the Radha Shyam, in our temple in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram Mandir there between Radha and Shyam, it's not clear who wins. So in some temples Radharani wins, and in some temples Krishna wins. That is Vrindavan. All these different things we can see. It is about who can attract who. That is where one can win. We see on several occasions that the gopis were able to control Krishna. For example, in the Rasa dance there was a point where Krishna disappeared, and then later all the gopis were looking for Krishna, and they came upon Lord Narayan with his 4 arms. But when they appeared before Lord Narayan, it was actually Krishna who was hiding in a 4-armed form. But he could not maintain that disguise because of their... he became conquered by their desire. So that is Krishna consciousness, to somehow or other conquer Krishna. We of course on a different level, but even in our kirtan it's also what we put in. I mean, we can just... I heard someone introduce kirtan and say, this is very serious and we should make sure that we are attentive and that we don't fall asleep. I've never seen anyone fall asleep in my kirtan, so, except children. Adults?
There was one.
There was one. Wow. Amazing. I didn't see it. So my statement still stands. I didn't see it. You may have seen it. I never saw it. Some people are powerful sleepers. That's also... I must say that. But anyhow, the point is that it is about conquering Krishna. Means we have to make an effort, we have to make an endeavor in whatever we do. You can cook. I knew one cook who would do the Sunday feast and would throw the whole cauliflowers in the pot. And so hot water on, and the whole cauliflowers, uncut, the whole things in the pot. And then, as it was already cooking, then he would take a big knife, go through that pot, and just chop it up while it was boiling. Chop, 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 chop. Fish out the extra green, sort of, you know. And, well, then he was well on the way, you know. He was ahead of everyone else. He was the fastest Sunday feast cooker you could imagine. He was quick. I mean, Rupa is smiling. He said, "Hey, that's interesting." Try that. It worked. It worked. People didn't notice it. But, yeah. One can go about it that way, or others they go an hour early to the kitchen and try and really like make it very special. Whatever we do, we have to make an effort. Some people do the quantity, some people do the quality. Both may be there, and both may be needed at different times. But effort is important. Without effort, nothing will be achieved. So, over the last few days, I've been touching upon a point, the point of mercy and purity, and the combination of these two. And obviously, we are trying for pure devotional service. We are looking to be purified, and we understand that there's a need to be purified. Then we have that definition of pure devotee. What that actually is, that is hard to say, because one could dig up many definitions from scriptures. One can see Prabhupada saying, when asked by a journalist how many pure devotees are there, Prabhupada asked, how many members of ISKCON? That's how many pure devotees. So, how is that? Well, by the definition of the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, in the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, we get akama sarva kama vamoksha kama udara diti vrena bhakti yogena yayeta purusham param. We get whether you have material desires or not, you should with great force, so with great effort, engage in pure devotional service. So in that way, anybody who's on the path of pure devotional service is counted as a pure devotee. And we find many references, like even we get the definitions of Uttama, Madhyam and Kanista Adhikari of the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. And these are more about behavior than about the internal state of the heart. If you actually look at these verses describing them, it is about behavior. So it's in a way external. I mean, if you behave in one way, that's still not the same as the condition of the heart. When we are chanting the Guru Vastakam, Romanchakam Pashu Taranga Bhajo, then we're seeing hair standing on end and tears coming from the eyes and all these kind of things. Then we're talking about more than behavior. Then we're talking about symptoms of manifestations of internal emotion. So, where does it begin, pure devotion, and where does it end? So we've been talking about that, and about trying to be pure, and we see different degrees of purity. It is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that as different birds fly on different levels in the sky, there are different devotees that are flying on different levels in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So on what level does one have to fly to go back to Godhead? That could be an interesting question, at least on my mind. You know, what's sort of the level, right? So, is it 100%? Who votes for 100%? To be 100% pure. Okay. Who votes for 90%? 90% will do. Yeah? Anybody any lower than 90%? 80%? Anybody for 80%? Nobody. 80. Okay. Lower. Yeah, I'm getting there. Hold on. Calm down. Okay. 70. Anyone for 70? Whoa, there's lots of 70s here. Well, on what basis are you coming up with that, you know, with your votes? I mean, anything to support your vote, or is it just...
Robert said 70%.
Oh, did he say? Did he say 60 or did he say 70?
70.
Something 70 and something 60. Yeah. And something 50, you know? How about 40? Yeah, it is true. Well, the story actually comes from Jayapataka Maharaj originally, who said that Prabhupada came of his Vyasa-san, which had various steps, and that he stepped down, and he had just given that lecture, 100% surrender lecture, and everyone was getting a bit depressed. And then they all came, then Prabhupada stood up, came down from the Vyasa-san and saw the depressed mood and said, one step down, and said, anyway, 90% will do. Took another step down, said, 80 is all right. And then one more step down to 70. And the 60, I'm not so sure about. So I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't bank on the 60. 60 maybe. 60 is a maybe case. Prabhupada said Nistha, 60% purified. So is Nistha enough? I don't know. Is Nistha actually? Nistha is Bhakti Vinod says Madhyama Adhikari, intermediate devotee. One who is surrendered, but yet not fully. Not fully. One who is surrendered externally to the process, but who is internally lacking. Internally really not yet having love for Krishna, not real deep love for Krishna. Something. Prema maiti kripopekshiya karoti samadhatya. Ishvarata dedini subhali sejadi satchitsa prema maiti kripopekshiya karoti samadhatya. For Ishvara, he has prema, it says. He has love, the Madhyamadikari. But it is still immature. Will that be enough? Yeah. If Krishna is merciful, anything can be enough. So, but we can't bank on anything. So better we make an effort for purity. Anyway, so the theme remains that we are somewhere between mercy and endeavor. Right? And that is the point. And it's not all about endeavor. It is not that this is a movement which is exclusively dependent on sadhana siddha, and that you have to attain perfection through sadhana. That's our good fortune, because who can do that? Who can chant 16 perfect rounds? I don't know who can. This morning I was joking in the Bhagavatam class about how you start the day with anxiety, and then, you know, because you have 16 rounds to chant, which is like a big source of anxiety, and that then, you know, you try to get a good go at it, like like that. And so, as we were driving here from the farm, our dear Rupa told me, That sounds just like the morning class, Maharaj. As I was chanting my last round. Well, hopefully not the last, but chant my 16th round in the closet. Thanks for that. It was very encouraging. Yeah. What can we do? It was one of those days. Everybody came and everybody, just 5 minutes. No, it's all right. I was happy to give the 5 minutes, but at the same time, like, there go your rounds, you know, because 5 minutes is never 5 minutes, and then it's like, you know, 5 rounds, right? Yeah, like that. What to do? Will it ever be perfect? I don't know. But let us just, with eagerness, make an effort. I don't know how you measure the difference between 60% and 70% anyway. We can argue about percentages, right? 60%, 70%.
60 is more hope. That's why.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying, how do you measure it? That's my point. No, I understand 60 is more hope. 1% is still more hope, but how do I know that my devotional service is on 60% or on 70%? How do you know? So I don't know. I have not been able to measure my level of devotional service in a percentage. Prabhupada says you can measure your spiritual advancement by that your material desires go down. That he says. Okay, so that's some sort of measurement, but to measure it in a percentage is difficult, I would think. But 60% is we want Krishna more than the material energy. We may want both, but we want Krishna more than the material energy. I have, of course, my little play which I do about Kanista Majam, and some of you have seen and some of you have not seen, and because you have not seen mine, therefore I must do it. Close my bottle, because we have to do some serious work here. Because, my dear devotees, I would like you to pay full attention to what I am going to tell you now, because you will find it very valuable for your entire spiritual life. Yes. Okay, so once upon a time, I was somewhere, maybe not far away from here, because it was raining a lot. Buckets and buckets, and what to do. Talking about buckets, I didn't have enough buckets. The roof was like a sieve, and every pot and pan in the house had been used to catch the water, and it was really getting too much, you know. So, today, for a change, no, believe it or not, the sun was out. Oh yes, it was. So, guess what? I'm going on the roof, folks. Yeah, yeah, you make sure that thing is safe. Hold it. Sit there as a pillar. Very good. All right, so that is a roof. That's a pillar of the veranda, that white one there. And I'm gonna fix my roof. Ooh, it's going well. Oh, I slipped. My God. But I got saved. Saved. It's a tough roof. I'm hanging on the roof. Oh, saved. Okay, now I'll just pull myself up. Oh God, I didn't do my yoga. Okay, too much Mahaprasadam. Oh gosh, I'm not saved. How long can I hang here? Oh God, oh God, oh God, please save me. Need any help? Who are you? I am God. Oh, God, please save me. All right, all right, all right. I will save you. Just let go of the roof and I will catch you. Can't you catch me first? And then I'll let go of the roof. Thank you so much. Hare. That was a tough roof, I tell you. I almost fell off the roof, actually. That was very wobbly. Anyway, so that is, we see here, the Madhyam would have just let go of the roof, go of all material securities, and just ready, knowing Krishna will catch me. Full faith. Whereas the Kanista says, well, can't you catch me first and then I'll let go of all my material securities, of all those things that bring me pleasure that I have carefully collected and stored and kept and that I'm so attached to, all these treasures that I have, not only here, but also somewhere in a storage, yes, in case I need. Everything renounced now, but everything is safe and well kept, just in case of all these things I still have, in case I need them and want to enjoy them. And now, now we're gonna just be Madhyam Adhikaris and let go of the roof. Help. Will Krishna catch us? That is the question. Will he or will he not? And what if he doesn't? In the Netherlands they also have something, because they had a lot of ships, they still do actually, and there's something where you fall between the shore and the ship. Right? So you try to go on board of the boat, you get off the shore, and you just fall in the water between the shore and the ship. You're neither on the land nor on the ship. You're nowhere. You're in the water. Is that what's going to happen? What if you give up everything? And then, what if the ecstasy doesn't come? Imagine, you give up everything, okay, Krishna, yes, for you, and then nothing happens. The light doesn't go on. You don't become enlightened. Imagine, you've just given up everything you had, everything, and the light doesn't go on. It's not enlightened. I mean, that's scary, isn't it? Therefore, better hold on to what you have. And slowly, slowly, chant Hare Krishna, like anything, oh yes. But hold on to your securities, oh yes. Safe, better safe than sorry. Imagine. Because if you would give up everything and you would not get the ecstasy, and then you'd have nothing, you'd never forgive yourself for giving up all these things, isn't it? Oh yes, no, never. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, would you? No. Anyway, so like this, you see the struggle. The struggle between Kanista and Madhyam is not so easy. So Madhyam just, okay, Krishna, whatever you say, yes, we'll do that, yes. So it is an advanced platform, Madhyam. And Madhyam is Nistha and is supposedly 60% purified. So the charge, that much I know. There's 1% I know, so 60 I know. So Madhyam. Then after that, Madhyam, when one comes to Nistha, one is sort of on top of the hill. Up to Nistha, it's like pushing your old broken car, the one that never wants to start, up the hill. It's a whole group of people pushing their car up the hill. But Nistha means you're on top of the hill. And then Ruchi is your freewheeling down. You just automatically go towards Krishna, freewheeling down, and it's like, you're catching pace and everything is fine. So there it becomes easy. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that's where Uttama Adhikari begins. That's where Uttama Adhikari means, it means, hold on. Udgata Tamaha, Prabhupada says. It comes from Udgata Tamaha, Uttama. And that means that you've gone beyond tamas. You're gone beyond ignorance. So that so Srila Bhaktivinoda says that begins at Ruchi, and at that stage we are drawn to Krishna. Before that we're pushing ourselves towards Krishna. So we're pushing, always pushing when we chant our rounds, pushing when we read, pushing when we're doing service, pushing ourselves towards Krishna. And a bit drawn also at times. But when we come to Ruchi, then we are really drawn towards Krishna. And it's all the time drawn towards Krishna. And the Shakti, that's where we reside. That's where we, in deep attachment to Krishna. Bhav, that's where we start to see Krishna. It says in Bhav, Krishna appears in our meditation. You actually see him, no longer a picture. I don't know where I did it, but recently I did it where I did everybody close your eyes and take a deep breath in, out. Now in your mind, go to your favorite place. Now try to see Krishna. Do you see Krishna? So that's difficult. Huh? What we see is usually a picture of Krishna, or maybe the deity. A picture that we've seen of Krishna, and that's what we try to remember when we have to see Krishna. So put that mentally, put that picture. Can we see him? Can we even see his face, or do we just see the contours? Do we see the flute? How much do we see? So at different stages one will see, but in Bhava it is no longer us thinking about the form of Krishna. Krishna actually appears, it says. So that's interesting. He appears. And then more and more, and then there are pastimes. Then he begins to do things. And it's got a life of his own. And you're just watching what he's doing. What's Krishna doing there? Let's see. Maybe he played a few flute, maybe not. You don't know. But sometimes he uses his flute to herd cows also. Big flute Mahananda. So like this, all these things are happening. And so whatever may be, wherever we are, in terms of wherever Rupa went, that was a good act, Rupa. Anyway, so something's going on in there. I've seen different offerings. I remember we had this one program and there was this brahmachari who would do an offering. So he got two people to stand with the Harinam Chadar, and that's doing the offering. And then behind the Harinam Chadar, he lit a whole bundle of incense. And then so much smoke came from behind. And we did it in people's homes, and then the people said, wow, that's really prasadam, you know? Because of the smoke. So let's see what will come out of the cupboard next, you know? Anyway, conclusion. I gotta come up with a conclusion. I have to concentrate for a moment with all this distraction. The conclusion is then that we are somewhere between mercy and between perfection. And exactly where we will wind up, let us see. But of course, we'll give it what we have. That's the idea. That's what this life is. Give it what you have. Don't hold on to so many things. You know, let's be a little brave. Let's be a little bit bold, right? Bold people, they sometimes get in trouble. I have experienced. You see, when I was 17, I thought, forget it. I'm not going to just stay home and sit here with my parents who make everything really comfortable. Forget it. I'm going. And so I traveled overland and on the way to India. And the first place was in former Yugoslavia, and I stopped there, and one student was nice to me and said, "Hey, you need a place to stay? You can stay in my place." I said, "Hey, great." Stayed in his place. The next morning, the cops arrested me. You know, and they took me straight to a jail, to a dungeon under a police station. So they took me to this big police station. I still remember the name of the street, 29th of November Street, right? And there is a big police station and a deep dungeon under the police station. And I was down there, you know, and the only man who spoke English was there for murder. Okay. So I kept my distance from him. I didn't get too close, you know. And after that, after he told me that, I got so freaked out actually that I scratched my name in the wall. I said, just leave a trace, you know, somehow or other. My name and the date, you know. I mean, it just felt, at least I should leave a trace, you know, somewhere, a name and a date. And then the police came and called my name, and they put me in this van, and then they drove for a few hours, and I wound up in, they let me out, and we were inside a concentration camp. And then they told me to go inside, and there was a barber shop. And in those days, I hadn't been to the barber for a long time. Okay, it's ready to go, I guess. Yeah, I'll finish the story. But, I'm encouraged at the same time. Anyway, so yeah, you know, and then then they wanted to cut my hair. I said no, and then they used some arguments called violence, and that was it, you know. And they did the flower pot model, you know. It was really exciting. So it wasn't always easy to just do the adventurous program, right? And I have many such stories, you know, like exciting stories, like being in Iran in front of a firing squad. That was also exciting for 4 hours. Oh yeah, it was lots of fun. So some people rather stay home and knit socks and just sort of, you know, and just sort of, you know, live a nice life where the cat is a vegetarian and, you know, and the canary chants Hare Krishna sometimes, right? But he does. If he doesn't say Hare okay, and that's also nice. I mean, it's also good. But somewhere along the line, do something special. If he wants special mercy, then let's do something special. At least that's my motto. I believe in that personally. Let's do something special. if you want specialness. What that is, leave it up to you. When you're gonna knit some extra socks or something, you know, or have more cats and make them all vegetarians, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not knocking it. You decide what special thing you want to do. But if you really want to break through to the other side, gotta do something special. Something. Whatever it is. Okay, that's my conclusion now. And Rupa has something special for us. I think so. So Rupa, why don't you tell us what you got for us?
We've got a wonderful feast, but we want everyone to build up their appetite more. I think we're having Damodar Rusticum, is that
Oh, maybe Damodar Rusticum. There's no end to it. Ouch. I forgot all about that. My senses took over. Alright, we're having Damodar Rusticum. It's going to be a quick Damodar Rusticum. Yeah, some water, yeah. You're right. Okay, I'll put the earphones back on.